Morning, drivers. Welcome back to Horsepower TV. Hey, the other day I was talking about different inspections and different things on your trailers and stuff, and one very simple thing I forgot. There's little things sometimes that it can kind of cause big delays or issues or whatever. The rope on the back of your trailer. Um, if it's starting to even show signs of getting frayed, change it out because you just never know when that last little strand is going to break when you go to heave on it and roll up your back door. And then there you sit. You can't operate your door. If you can't operate your door, you can't load or unload. It can be kind of embarrassing if it happens. It's not a major don't be that guy, but it is a don't be that guy. It's something to watch for and not get. The other day I used me for example. I had my rope was just getting frayed. I didn't think it was frayed that bad. I figured, well, I'll load this load on and then I'm going home, so I'll change it when I get home. I didn't make it. First pull on the tug of the rope, it broke. And so that's what made me think, because it didn't look that bad. I could tell it was being frayed, but it looked like it'd make it another time or two up and down, but it didn't. And then I smacked my elbow on the catwalk on the side of the chute, so that really felt good. So anyways, that paid me back for being that guy. So anyhow, so anyways, as we get into this, we're coming in closer to springtime, and spring run's coming, and there's going to be more guys out there. Maybe a lot of them who haven't done this before, or just in general, there's going to be more cow trucks on the road, and we're pushing it harder. That's what we're paid to do. And there seems to be, when you look at truck accidents as a whole, the cow trucks are usually the ones not in the problem. Every once in a while, you'll find one of us, tangled up somewhere, but not very often. We've probably got the highest safety rating out of anybody, any category in the trucking industry. Yet we run longer hours and more miles at a time than any of the rest of them. I am not sure why that is, but it's that way. But one thing I wanted to say is, you guys, I'm sure veteran drivers have experienced this. You Like, for instance, the lip on the edge of the highway going down I-5, Interstate 5 through California, Oregon, Washington. And you get down there to California, there's places where there's no asphalt or there's asphalt, but there's like a 2-inch lip right on the edge of the white line. And so it doesn't give you a lot of leeway. You no sooner feel the little rumble strips, and then that stupid ass thing hooks you and whips you down off on the shoulder. So the worst thing you can do is whip it back. Okay, get her steady. Use a steady hand. Use controlled movements. Drive it back on the road. Don't jerk it back on the road. A cattle truck reacts to what you do, as far as when you jerk it back, the cattle are going to react to what you do. Well, then if you jerk it too hard and they react too hard, then you're going to react to how they react, and the next thing you know, it's a chain reaction, and you're laying on the side in the middle of a straightaway, and that's pretty embarrassing. So you don't want to be that guy. But that's how it happens. I've seen more cattle trucks laid on their side on a straightaway than anywhere. They do handle pretty good in the corners, believe it or not. As top heavy as we are, they will roll pretty good if you get it loaded correctly and get the weight distributed right. There's a lot of things I do to try and avoid certain things like that, coming into corners accidentally too fast and what have you. When you're coming down through a canyon, there's a lot of windy, 45, 35, 50 mile an hour corners and such. You don't want to be rolling down through there at 70 miles an hour. So one way to help avoid that is drop a gear. Don't even get into the 18th gear or the 13th gear or whatever you got. Just drop one gear down and just cruise down through there, so that way you're not gonna, you'll have a tendency to run maybe more 60, maybe 65 on the straightaway, but you're in a lower gear and you're not going so fast, and it doesn't take so much to slow down for the corners, because when you're slamming on the brakes or braking hard, and as you're coming in the corner, you're going to throw the cattle funny in the trailer, and then that's when your chain reaction starts to happen and you're on your side again. So laying a cattle truck on the side is not pretty. It's not something that you want to do, and hope that you never experience it. I've been very fortunate. I've never experienced it. I've been, I guess, lucky, knock on wood, if I can find something in here to knock on. That's on my plastic wood. Anyway, so that's just kind of what I wanted to cover today, and on some different things about, because we're coming into spring run and stuff. The other day, I'm at the washout, and I'm standing there BSing with the guys like I usually am, and this guy comes off the wash rack, and he circles around in front of us, and the wash racks are straight in front of the trucks where we're all sitting in the parking lot. So when one guy's done, he pulls off, and then we can pull straight ahead on the wash rack. Well, this guy comes down. He's circling around like a dog looking for a place to pee. Makes a couple circles out there in the middle of everybody, and then pulls up straight ahead, and backs his trailer to the edge of the shop, to our left, and he sits crossways in the parking lot, so nobody can move forward and get on the wash racks. Parks it there, sets his brakes, goes up, fills out his paperwork, takes a shit, do whatever he's doing. Anyways, he was there 15 minutes. We thought maybe somebody's gonna have to go get in his truck and move it because both bays were empty. The truck that just came off the bay, he couldn't get around him. The rest of us couldn't get in front of him. But I guess he must have been an ex-Swift driver, maybe. I don't know. JB Hunt, who knows? Anyway, don't be that guy. That was just, think about what you're doing. Think about your moves. Think ahead a little bit. Think about the other drivers sitting in the parking lot, not just yourself. It's just, in our industry, we don't want that kind of stuff. I mean, we're not a hook and drop or type of thing. We're different than the rest of them, and so you need to think differently than the rest of them and think like a cow truck. Anyhow, so don't be that guy, okay? Just don't mess up the rest of our days because you're having a bad one or whatever the case may be. So anyway, that's all I wanted to cover today, guys. Be sure to push the subscribe buttons. I got a couple more subscribers this week. Guys, welcome to the channel. Got several more likes this week, so things are looking up. And we'll see you next week. Drive safe. Keep it right side up. You guys be good. Bye.